It has been 1 year since my first trip to Egypt, and I am bringing back the Egypt travel tips series. And I honestly am really considering about making a guide for anyone who wants to go and visit Egypt. The first thing that I want to chat with you guys about is when you visit Egypt, should you get a tour guide? And I will tell you this, that I did not go with a tour group, but you probably should. When I was planning this trip to Egypt, I really didn't want to go with a tour group because of a few reasons. One, I didn't really want to be restricted to the places that I went and mainly the time I spent at these places. I knew that I would want to spend a lot of this time in individual places, like really examining the architecture, the hieroglyphs, and seeing everything that you could see. And I was worried that if I went with a tour group, we would be rushed through lots of different sites in one day and not really take a lot of time in those places. In addition, I obviously have my master's degree in Egyptian archaeology, and since starting MelissainDeNile, I have continuously studied this for many, many more years. And I was really worried about what tour guides would say about Egypt that might be incorrect. A lot of the tour guides are really great experts, but they definitely give a lot of surface level information, and I wouldn't really be able to have any sort of constructive discussion with them about deeper art or historical theories in Egypt. I also did not want to make them uncomfortable and thus make me uncomfortable for essentially being a know-it-all. But here's the thing. When I really looked at it, most people should travel to Egypt with a tour guide for a couple reasons. One, and this is a huge one, is transportation. This was something that we struggled with extremely in both Cairo and Luxor, and I have some videos coming out about it, because we didn't have somebody that was going to pick us up every single day and take us to where we wanted. Ubers in Cairo were confusing and not well responsive, and taxis typically overcharged you. And another reason, honestly, was food. We were very lucky in Cairo to have great food at the hotel and great restaurant across the street, but in Luxor, there really wasn't a lot of things because a lot of people would eat on their riverboat, and we were sitting at a hotel. And I will say the scheduled tours give you all of that. And they also give you all that information about ancient Egypt if you don't know a lot about ancient Egypt kind of going into the tour. So let me know if you have any more questions, and I'll start making videos kind of in responses to that, because I did have an amazing time on this trip. And I know with going with a tour group, some aspects of my trip would probably have been better. And that is kind of the more logistical things, but that's because I have that knowledge. Anyone else who has minimal knowledge, you should probably go with a tour group.